Okay, now that you have chosen a song, let's get into the first one, White Stripes. Yeah, I'm thinking about my doorbell, when you gonna ring it, when you gonna ring it. That's my weekend jam. I asked my Facebook community, what they're listening to this weekend, so they chose. But if you have a better song in mind, we can do this again, and I'm going to choose your song. How about them apples? So what is the weekend jam for White Stripes Doorbell? These are timeless readings, remember, so it can be any weekend. Weekend vibes, weekend vibes, weekend vibes for White Stripes. One more shuffle and we good to go. I apologize for that thumping. It's one of the dogs trying to break free. So far we have the Knave of Chalices reversed, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, we have the we have the Knave of Chalices reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and then the Knight of Chalices. We have the Seven of Swords reversed, we have the Tower, and we have Nine of Swords. So I feel like for you guys, there's going to be sort of like this hermit energy. You might be staying at home working on your art, mainly because you don't have no money. But the Knight of Cups, or the Knight of Chalices, this is someone who's very dreamy, very romantic, very can be artistic. So we do have this art card here. The Seven of Swords is a little different in this deck. This is the 78 Doors deck, and you can see that she is painting this abstract image of the door she's seeing. So could be working on your art. And I say staying at home because we do have the Nine of Swords, and in this deck he is in a cage, right? He's sort of locking himself away. We do have the Tower here. So there may have been news that you received. Actually, I'm hearing something else. The traditional meaning is that there's like a sudden change, a boom, news that comes out of the blue, but actually in this reading I'm feeling it more of the Aquarian Uranus energy of like flash of brilliance, electricity, flash of light. You might even be sharing your art online, maybe posting some of the stuff that you had kept hidden before, because the Tower sometimes signifies to me technology, right? And so with this art and with this technology, you might be releasing some projects you've been working on, but I feel like this is like inspiration, like you may get an epiphany that sort of drives your art forward, but really, yeah, holding yourself up. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, it usually talks about slow action, but I can't look at it in this reading without thinking, maybe you're just too broke to like go out with your friends, and so you're staying in and sort of having these artistic flashes, these artistic moments. But let's get 3 cards. We also have the Knave of Chalices reversed here, and so you may have been shy about sharing this art in the past, but like now with this Tower, with this flash, it's kind of like I can't hold it in, right? I have to like get it out. It's like an electric current running through me that I have to put this art out. We have Perseverance, perfect for that. And we have Spontaneity. Yeah, so what am I talking about? So you may have tried to like work on this project before. There may have been some things that kept you stuck. There may have been some reluctance on your part to share your heart, to share your world, to share your inner voice with people, afraid of what they might think, afraid of rejection, afraid of any number of things. But this weekend, I feel like this is going to be your power weekend, where inspiration just comes through you so strong and so spontaneously that you can't help but create, and you can't help but release that energy, right? And it's something you have persevered about, but in the past it just hasn't quite clicked for this reason or that. But this weekend you're going to be doing a lot of creative projects. If you're not an artist, if you're not a writer, if you're not someone who's creative, then this could be anything like a DIY project around the house, right? It could be like that new recipe that you've been meaning to try that's very exotic, right? Or something along those lines. So you don't have to be out and out artists to make art, right? But this weekend is a weekend about creativity, about inspiration, and about art. So enjoy. I love you guys very much, and I will see you next time. Have a good weekend. Bye. Of course, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Get a personal reading and all of that. I sometimes forget all that stuff because I get like so engrossed in you guys' reading that I forget to shamelessly plug everything that makes me some coin. Okay, for the second reading we have Bel Biv Devoe. That girl is poison. Poison. A parrot is singing along with me. Household animals. What are the weekend vibes for Bel Biv Devoe Poison? I get the sense that you don't want to work, so it might be a little lazy weekend. You might have some obligations, some responsibilities that you're putting off with this Two of Pentacles. With the Ten of Cups, it could be an unhappy family matter, or there's just some unhappiness, dissatisfaction. Let's see. Prince of Wands. Two more shuffles. For some of you, you may be, the Knight of Wands is the player card, so you might be getting it on. One night stand weekend, having fun that way, but there might be a tendency to do naughty things with this devil, right? With the devil and the Knight of Wands. We can definitely be talking about that, but even if it's not, out and out sleeping around, it could just be, drinking a little too much, get like rabble rousing. The Prince of Wands is very passionate, so sort of letting your impulses govern you and take you too far. But oddly enough, this is going to sort of untie some conflicts you've been having. So I don't know what that's about. Let's see what oracle cards we have. Let me try to process. I could be talking to some Leos because we have the, that's interesting. Because I do have the Lion right here, so Leos or Capricorns. And this Eight of Pentacles is a very Capricorn card to me too. But let me know. I said interesting because as I was shuffling, I like shuffle to the songs and I kind of do a mini reading for myself, and these two cards came out together. So this is definitely a message for someone. It's like a contrast too, which is interesting because we do have this Two of Pentacles. But these are two very different energies. One talks about stillness, talks about observation, talks about not reacting, not responding to our environment. And then over here we have movement. This is about action. This is about response. This is about, reacting to stimuli. So maybe you are balancing between the two. I'm a little confused with this reading, to be honest. So let me try to process this. I feel like maybe there's some turbulent emotions. It could be because of, again, this unhappiness, or you could feel like working for nothing, right? Like you work for this paycheck only to pay your bills. There could be some paying off debts, releasing yourself from this bondage, from this burden, and some movement forward. I apologize for my silence. It's just, it is a little complex of a reading, and I'm trying to give you the best message possible. Avoiding conflict. You might give in to impulses as a result of avoiding conflict. And sort of feeling like bound to whatever this conflict is. It could be internal, could be external, doesn't matter. It could be thoughts in your head that don't quite add up, or it could be people in your environment that are bickering and can't agree on anything. But whatever it is, I feel like you might feel like it's never going to change, so what's the point in arguing about it? But arguing about it or dealing with these challenges is necessary, because it's like something you haven't observed within yourself, something you haven't addressed. And it's like there is a way out, but I think the problem is feeling as though you are chained to something, you are bound to something, and it's never going to get better, instead of taking the steps to move out of this space. Let me know if that resonated. Kind of a heavy message for the weekend, and I'm really sorry, but I love you very much. I hope next weekend is better. I will see you next time. Have a good weekend. If you would like a personal reading, check the description box below, and like, share, comment, and subscribe. Love you. Bye. Still your heart when you're blind. Never trust a big bird and a smile. Okay, so the last one. Bob Marley. For my Marley dog. For my Marley dog. My stepsister chose this song. Very mellow weekend, very mellow dog. Oh, I need to switch my songs. I'm still singing the Bel Biv Devoe song. I wanna love you. I like it. There's been some regret, some maybe feeling like you showed too much weakness, but you're moving out of conflict. But it's like you had to show that weakness to move out of conflict, but it may have like shown you in a light that wasn't so pretty. I wouldn't worry about that, but you may have had to like say you were sorry or show some vulnerabilities that you weren't comfortable with, but ultimately it led you out of conflict, where if you had kept that stuff in, then you couldn't have gotten past this situation. So now it's time to be mellow. Take a tip from Marley. I'm looking at my Marley dog right now. She's very mellow. She's chilling on the floor. Page of Swords reversed, Nine of Staves reversed, and the Knight of Cups reversed. So some of you might be moving away from love partners that sort of would fall in love. They're kind of people who are like scared to be alone. They kind of look for love externally to them, and as a result they never truly find what they're looking for, because they're sort of in this place of like in love with love and not the actual person. So they just sort of like chase those initial feelings of infatuation and all of that, and then move on to the next person whenever oh, my contact, sorry guys. Move on to the next person whenever that sort of bubbly energy has worn off. But they move to the next person because, again, they're looking for something external to them to fill their cup of love instead of filling their own cup and then sharing it with someone else, right? With this Nine of Staffs, we have the Page of Swords reversed, the Nine of Staffs reversed, and then the Knight of Cups reversed. So with this Nine of Staffs and with the Strength card and with the Five of Cups, this is definitely about letting down your guard, sharing some vulnerabilities. And with the Page of Swords is like orphan child. It's like, and this could be your child, but it is a really smart kid, like ahead of their time. Very wise, very old soul, just like blow your mind. Even like the less intelligent children, like they just have that like wisdom of a child, right? So this is a character who shares their wisdom with adults, and then adults kind of like poo-poo it, right? Like, you're just a kid, what do you know? You don't know what you're talking about. And so they get hurt by that. They feel like unheard, interrupted, misunderstood, right? And so they internalize that and take on this energy of like, well, I do it myself, right? I don't need you. I don't need anyone. So that sort of prideful behavior, whether it was from you or someone else, that prideful behavior was a result of feeling like abandoned, neglected, misunderstood. But opening up and sharing, sharing those feelings gets you to that next level. There is Leo energy here, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Could be you, could be someone you're dealing with. That one wanted to come out. Okay, we have patience. So you may have to be patient with someone. And, you know, like I said, if this is a child, if your child is being a little bratty and sort of, the Page of Swords is kind of like passive aggressive and doesn't say things directly. Like doesn't really speak from their heart, right? Hasn't learned to speak from their heart. If a child is acting out, then you're going to have to be a little patient with them and realize that there's something in their heart that they're not sharing, and sort of to like coax them out of it so that you can move on. But if you're not dealing with a child, you know, it could be this person who like romantic love interest who is has sort of like emotional affairs, never really opens up, never really allows themselves to be vulnerable, is kind of like Don Juan, roses and candy person without any real substance. But it's going to require some patience on your part to realize that there are deeper things going on than what they are actually doing, what they're saying, or how they're behaving. And that's going to move you into a much calmer place. We also have Ray, yoga, and exercise. So one of the things that might be helpful this weekend is to do some body work. If you are like a nervous wreck inside, then exercise, cardio is going to help you sweat that out and sort of reprogram, like defrag your mind, to sort of like get that anxious, nervous energy out, right? And yoga is obviously going to calm and stretch you out of that. So you might be doing a lot of exercise this weekend to move away from problems that are beyond your control and that you require a certain level of patience on your part. Let me know if that resonated with you. I love you very, very much. I hope you have a good weekend. And if you would like a personal reading, check the description box below and like, share, comment, and subscribe. Again, I love you very much. Bye.